This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF6951. Alright guys, now it's time for the next step on your layout. Trees! I have been dealing with Bob for 7 years now, and he does excellent work on his trees. So if you need some trees on your layout, check out Long Shadow's Trees. Tell him the Cuzz sent you. Hello everyone, and welcome to Friday Night with the Cuzz. How's everybody doing? Hello Dragon Lover, Schuylkill River Valley, how's it going? John Tanzillo, Dwight Curley, Eminem Shortlines, Digger Evans, my buddy from across the pond, Ian Lee, High River Subdivision, Wilma, Indian Head, how's it going, buddy? Chris Mitchell, glad to see you all in here tonight. Lackawanna Rail fan, glad to see you making in tonight. I did see a couple other people in here, a couple of new people. Welcome to the new people that are in here tonight. Eminem Shortlines, how's it going, buddy? Glad to see you. Try Goglin, how's it going? Pappy, nice to see you in here. Northern Ohio Rail fan. Rail Action, sorry about that. Roy Eltham, how's it going, buddy? Nice to see you all in here. Great y'all can make it in tonight. I got a pretty good show tonight. I have a really, really special guest that's going to be with me, and my color seems to be changing again. I can't believe this. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. Anyhow, Joe Rader, how's it going, buddy? Dave Strange, glad to see you. Sean McGee, nice to see you in here, buddy. All right. John Schuylkill, I'm going to need a favor from you for my shout out because Rail Artist, how's it going? Ralph is not going to be here tonight, and I was wondering if you could put up the Pixel Depot for me when I announce it, please. I would appreciate that, John. It looks like you lost. I don't know what happened. I was talking with Kevin before. I was trying to adjust the color, and it's just like going crazy. It's just gradually, I'm turning gray. Maybe my hair is reflecting. I don't know. Thank you, Marty. I appreciate that, buddy. Hey, Marty, you know, I think what I want to do with you, Marty. Where are you? Where'd you go? Hey, come back here. Oh, I can't do that here? Oh, man. I was going to make you a, whatchamacallit, you know, one of them guys, it's a policeman. Anyhow, I don't know if John heard me on that. Jerry Satz, how's it going, buddy? Glad to see you made it in here. Who else we got? Sean McGee, I said hello to. Roy Eltham, I said hello to. Jerry Satz. Dave BNSF N-Scale, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it in. All right, so anyhow, unfortunately, my person, Ralph Greenwood, who posts my my shout outs for me, he texted me during this week and said he was going away for the weekend, he and his wife. And so I told him no worries about it. Well, thank you, Michael Broshears. I appreciate that. And welcome. Brian Page, thank you for coming in, buddy. Glad you can make it in. Michael says the color looks okay. All right. Well, to me, it looks pretty bland. It's getting grayer and grayer. Anyhow, this person's name is Joe Parker. The name of his layout or his YouTube channel is the Pixel Depot. He did a March 2021 update, and he shows the progress he has up to this point. I don't know if did John see that or not? Anyhow, if he does, oh, thank you, John. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you very much. Anyhow, he shows the progress he's got that he's done up to now, and he also goes over the future plans he's going to be doing on his layout as he progresses. He runs trains on there while he's doing it. He's got great narration on. He explains everything to a T, and it's a small HO layout. The man has 83 subscribers. Maybe we can get him up to 100. We got 48 people in here. Rick Bailey, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And welcome, Steve Childers. How's it going? Welcome here. Who else? Shays Inscale. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So building a small HO layout. I bet you with the amount of people in here, we got almost 50 people in here tonight. I bet you 17 of us could get him up to 100 subscribers. He would really appreciate that. He said he was going to try and make it in tonight. I don't know if he's here or not. Hello, Heath. How's it going, buddy? And who else did I just see in here? Brian Page. I said hello to Sparky. How's it going, Sparky? He has 99. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad we'll be able to get him up there. You guys, I'm going to follow him when he's building his layout because I want to see what he's doing and all that kind of stuff. Oh, he just went up to over 100. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Sparky. I appreciate that. All right. So my super chats from last week. I want to thank all of these people for help supporting my channel. We have Engineer Hall, Kevin Brown, Roy Eltham 2 times, and Shays N-Scale and Vermont Rail Fan. Thank you so much, guys. That all that money gets put to good use. Cameras, lights, and all that kind of stuff to make my productions a little bit better for you guys. Weekly shows. We have on Monday night, Tom's Trains and Things, and we have Modeling Monday with Heath, Humanity Junction. And I'm sorry, guys, but I get the times all messed up. So if you guys want to post your time that you're going to be up there, go ahead and put it. Remember to watch these videos and comment there. Thank you, Sparky. I appreciate you saying that. Caboose 121. Cameron, how's it going, buddy? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Again, Heath, if you want to go ahead and post whatever times you have for your Monday and your Friday shows, go ahead and do that because I will be announcing them. On Tuesday, we have On Track Tuesday, and we have Scratch Bill with the Cuz on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. And On Track Tuesday is at 7 o'clock. Wednesday night is the first Wednesday of the month is going to be Community Roundhouse. And then we had a surprise this last week with Sparky doing a live stream on the second Wednesday. And then the third Wednesday is going to be TSG. And not quite sure if Sparky's going to do his last Wednesday of the week. F&B Railroad, how's it going? Nice to see you in here. Flying Crow, Robert, nice to see you in here. Georgia Sunbelt, glad you can make it in. All right, on Thursday, and I don't know what's going on, but Hot Rod Rodney usually has a show going on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. I don't know what happened with him this past week. Alan, RDA N-Scale, how's it going? Nice to see you in here. On Friday nights, we have Hanging Out with Humanity. Again, I don't remember the time. I think it was sometime in the morning, 9:30 Eastern time. I don't know. Heath, please go ahead and put that in there if you want your time. Then we have Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider. He goes on in the afternoon. And then we have me at 8 o'clock. Saturday, we have Back on Track. Sunday, we have NORA, which is Northern Ohio Rail Action, and STS, Sidetrack Sunday. More shows that you guys might be interested in. Brian Page, thank you. Thank you, sir. You guys are buying me dinner tonight. Thank you so much. On Mondays, we have Not Bad with Wilmer. And I got to say, Wilmer is doing scratch builds, and I like that. Wilmer, keep it up, buddy. I like it. Scott, Hillbilly Railroad, how's it going, buddy? Nice to see you in here. CP368, glad you can make it in. All right, let's see. On Tuesdays, we have Dispatch with Roy Smith down in Panama. And on Sunday, we have Sunday Coffee and Trains with Highball and Hogger, Dale, I believe. And my announcements are, I want to thank all you guys for using my Teesprings account to buy stuff. I really do appreciate that. And as long as you guys keep doing that, I will keep putting the discounts on them. Hello, Frank Neer. How's it going? Marty, thank you, sir. Frank Neer, Scratch Bills, I'm here. Roy Elton, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Getting a little nicer dinner tonight. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate that, buddy. Okay. The Teesprings, thank you so much, guys. I do appreciate that. And get to wear my merch is really, really cool. I also bought some of my own stuff, to be honest with you. Okay, and now for tomorrow, my video, I was planning on Union Central Systems. Oh, well, glad you can make it back, buddy. Thank you so much. Union Central Station, Union Central System. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. And I'm glad to see you back in. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. I was hoping to do another layout update for tomorrow's video. Unfortunately, the stuff that Dave and I worked on this past week, it took a lot of time, so I don't have a lot of footage. So with that being said, I am going to show you how I built these. These are the archways to this build I am doing for Roy Eltham for his Oxnard Travel Center station. Anyhow, I just thought I'd show you guys that, and that's what my video will be on tomorrow. It'll be a premiere video, and it will be noon time. The Pixel Depot got to 105. Very, very cool. Thank you so much, guys. I do appreciate you guys taking care of him. I'm sure he's going to be happy about it. Okay. So like I was saying, the video tomorrow is going to be on how I built those arches. I did them freehand. There's no machines involved except this and my knife. And that's how I built the arches. Anyhow, with all of that being said, I think it's time for you guys to meet my special guest. Now, like I mentioned in my intro today, I think he's been with me ever since day one. And I don't think he's missed more than one live stream. He's down in the basement laughing. Anyhow, I want to bring you guys up to Mr. Kevin Brown.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing, Kevin? Glad you can make it.
Very good.
How's it feel being on my show tonight?
This is pretty neat. I really like it. I really do.
You know, I've been trying to get a hold of Kevin for quite a while now, and I just never had his information. And I don't understand why, because if you could see the shirt that he's wearing, I did mail it to him. So I don't know what happened to his information. So finally, I got his information and invited him. He was on my show last week when we were having a little discussion on people trying to ask me questions and so on and so forth. And Kevin showed up, and I was glad he did, because that's how I got him to give me his information.
I've been a little concerned that my internet, which is pretty awful, wouldn't hold up. But after doing last week, let's give it a shot. It seems to be working just fine. Yeah,
the only thing I'm noticing right now is every once in a while your voice cuts out, but that's the only thing I see right now.
Let me see. Is that a little better with the microphones?
Well, you'll have to keep talking to find out if it's any better or not. But anyhow, you are in Cousin Vinny's hot seat. And you see that?
That's a lot of questions.
That's a lot of questions. And we got 45 minutes to go through them. All right. We'll start with number one. And that is, when did you get interested in trains?
My father hired in on the Gulfmobile and Ohio Railroad a month before I was born. So, and he'd been an avid model railroader his whole life. I know for a fact we had a little bitty Lionel set. My brother couldn't have been much more than 2 years old. So we've had trains pretty much our whole life.
All right.
He also fired for the wrecker here in town. And if there was a train wreck within 100 miles, we got thrown into the car and we went and saw. So even as a little kid, everything on the trains, we were there. So.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
It really was, yeah.
So, okay, now that we know when you got into trains, when did you get your first train set?
I had a Lionel, like I said, very early. Like I say, I was maybe 4. But as far as N scale, we got our first N scale set. I'm sure it was in the late 60s. It was very early. It was an old Revolver Pado. And I've still got most of the set. The engine's gone away. But I've still got most of it. So I've had N scale that long.
Wow. That's even longer than me.
Anyway, it's fun. To me, model railroading is kind of like malaria. You'll be for a while, you know, but eventually the fever's going to break again. You're going to get your trains out. You're going to get stuff all over the place. So I can't say that I've been into model railroading consistently since I was, 8, 9 years old.
Well, I don't think all of us have been consistently.
Yeah.
Maine Coast Rail fan, welcome, and I hope you have a good time tonight in my live stream. Michael Brochure, isn't he a friend of yours?
Oh,
Kevin?
Yeah. I was talking with him today.
Okay.
This is his second day of retirement.
Very cool.
And his wife already had him out in the garden. So,
Kevin, if you want to see the chat or the questions or the chat going on, upper right hand corner where it says comments, click on that.
Okay.
And then
okay.
So
Excellent.
that's in case I have my guests do that just in case I miss a question that somebody might be asking in the chat. So if you see it or I see it, just stop me what I'm doing and say, hey, so-and-so got a question for me, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Okay.
Melvin Fackler, how's it going, my friend? Glad you can make it in here. Hold on, Humanity. We're going to get to that. Humanity wants to know why you're doing T-Track.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that. What's your favorite loco?
I've always been enamored with F units. That was called wagons. FAs, F3s, the whole thing. I think largely because when I was young and starting to really understand what trains were about, these things were disappearing. And so I was very interested in those. And they're, obviously it's really tough to see any anymore.
I'm just reading a comment from Michael Brochier's wife has a long list for start of retirement.
I know. I can laugh now, but I'm sure my day's coming,
I'm sorry to hear that, Michael.
Oh God.
Okay. Well, you didn't quite answer this question, but you got close to it. Do you prefer steam or diesel?
Diesels. I love steam, but I've never had any luck at all with reliable steam. I know there's better stuff on the market now, but it's pretty pricey. And if any place, and my experience with modular railroading, if there's any track problem, the steam engine will find it.
Yeah,
that's the way that works.
I was going to get into running some steam on my layout, use it as an excursion train. And at the time, the lady I was with and a friend that I was with, they surprised me with a Bachmann. I think it was a 484 or 482. I don't remember, but it had the way she did it. She bought the locomotive and the sound stuff, and my other friend installed it all. So anyhow, I'm running it on my layout. Wait. You got a question there. Are you happy with the staging that you built? How is it working for you? That's Heath Humanity Junction. Oh,
I'm very happy with it. I wish I didn't have to go through a duck under, which is, it's not so bad, but it's the, oh my God, as you go under the duck.
So anyhow, with getting back to my steam experience, I'm playing with it one day and I'm backing into my yard and pulling out a bunch of cars, and I wanted to back into the next track and pull out a bunch of cars. All of a sudden it wouldn't go anymore. So I'm saying, what's up with this thing? So I push it a little bit and it goes, it stops, push it again, goes, it stops. So finally I take it off the track and I turn around and look at it. All the drive rods fell off. So that was just from my steam experience.
I have one, it's a Mini Trix K4 Pacific body or shell body. And it's got it's a British prototype. It's called the Mallard, which is a blue shrouded. Oh, it's gorgeous. And I'll get it out once in a while. But any of those engines, the stuff that sits a long time, you get oil them a bit and you cuss at them a bit, and eventually they start. The layout.
Hello, James Galton. How's it going, buddy? Glad you could make it in tonight. All right. So you kind of answered this question again, but consistently, how long have you been modeling?
Really, this latest, I don't know, feverish period. It started with a trip to the United Kingdom. Oh God, how many years ago was that when we did the trip, the driving trip throughout? Yeah, and it's got to be 4 years ago. Yeah, it's got to be more than 4 years ago. But that really got things going. We had a chance to ride the Jacobites. Jacobite, what is it, special?
The Jacobite train.
The Jacobite train, which is a beautiful train ride through Scotland, and we also stopped by the National Railway Museum in York. So that really got me started, and I also picked up some information on what N scale was like in the United Kingdom, and that got me going into various links, and one of which eventually led to a link to you.
Got another question from Heath, Humanity Junction. Do you have any double crossovers? Do you wire BWWB? I don't know what that is. How do
Yeah.
you wire your Digitrax DCC with the double crossover and keeping the T-Track standard? That's a lot. That's more than one question there, Heath.
No, I can't take the pressure. Yes, I have a bunch of double crossovers. I find them pretty reliable. Sometimes they're kind of a bear to clean and make sure the contacts are clean. I do that CRC stuff. I'm hoping that'll help. I do wire BWWB, which is blue, white, white, blue, and it's kind of
Okay.
track. The two tracks are oppositely wired. So time you cross over, it's a dead short. What we do, what I do to solve that is the two feeds that go to the two main lines, right as they come out of the Digitrax, I split them, and so I reverse the polarity on one of the feeds over the other. So I fool it right out of the bat, so everything's the same polarity, if that makes sense. We call that changing the polarity. We call that gender bending. The gender bending right outside of the Digitrax, and that solves a lot of problems. I do recommend it.
Hey, Roy Central 127. How's it going, buddy? Glad to see you making in tonight. If Frank Neer says you can check out his video on B&O module setup where I have the lift gate. So,
oh yeah, that's a cool idea. I did it the cheap way because it's modular and they snap apart. I have a 3-foot module that's not terribly wide, and I just unsnap it and get it out of the way, and I can walk in there and do it. I'm waiting for me to start a train with that darn thing out of there. There's going to be a ski jump eventually, and a lot of.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that. Robert Sacco, how's it going, buddy? Glad he's making in tonight. Let's see. All right, next question from me. Do you prefer operations or continuous run?
I like them both, to be quite honest. When I started back into this, the first thing I did was get a bunch of Kato switches and start putting together a bunch of switching layouts, just snapping them together and trying them out. And I enjoy the operations of that, but I miss not being able to run the trains too. I think it's because I've been so long in modular railroading. Sometimes you just want to sit back and watch the darn trains go.
Yeah, yeah.
And frankly, to keep the
man, I like the term. That went too fast.
Geezergate. Yeah.
There you go.
That's pretty common in modular railroading because that's what it is. It's funny to watch us when we go into the darn things. All the sound effects that have to go into bending under that. Oh my god.
Yeah, really. Digger Evans, hello, buddy. Glad to see you in here. All right. What is your favorite rolling stock?
40-foot steel boxcars. For the same reason,
40-foot steel boxcars?
For the same reason I like F units, because they were disappearing right as I was starting to know what was going on.
And you know, Big Bill, he lives in New York, and when I used to live in New York, I never knew of all the railroad action that was actually happening in Brooklyn, where I lived. But there was a lot of action going on with all the terminals down by the waterfront and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I never knew that. But see, at that time, I really wasn't into the train part. I was more into the hot rods. That's when I was in that transition period, you know. So I really didn't know about all of that stuff. And he did a video one time when he's walking. I don't know if it was a grandson or a nephew or something like that. He was pushing around. He was saying, "Yeah, this terminal here was this train. That terminal over there was that train." It was really, I really enjoyed it. He was also a motorman on the New York City Transit Authority.
I'll bet he's got some stories.
So I watched this show called the Smithsonian Channel, and they do. Fly over, they just call it flying over America. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And they pick a state, and in that state they fly over that state, and they show you all the different points that you should go visit if you ever go to that state. Well, they showed the train yard for the New York City Transit Authority, and I used to go by this train yard every day when I went to school, because I used to take a train to school, and I would look down, and I didn't realize how big it was until I saw this show. The engine house, well, it's not engine house, it's just a repair shop, can fit a whole train in it.
Oh yeah, they don't mess around. Yeah,
they don't mess around. No, sir.
The funny thing, you know, it's a shame we're such a paranoid culture anymore, because it used to be you could walk onto a railroad and take some pictures, nobody would hassle you. Those are long gone.
Yeah.
What to make up for that is Google Earth. You can see all this stuff in practically real time. I know I can zoom in. I can tell at least what type of locomotive it is. I mean, that's how much you can zoom in. That it makes it so much easier, but it's still not the same as being there.
No, it's not the same as being there. You know, and the problem is with the where I live, the subdivision that's in my area, it's not very active subdivision. Maybe 6 or 7 trains a day, you know, and you have to be lucky to catch those, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas if I go up to Flagstaff,
that's the Transcon, you bet.
That's the Transcon there. You got 70 or 80 trains. And then if I go south, if I go to Maricopa, that's the UP Transcon. And that's the same thing, 60 or 70 trains. But that's I have to travel to either place in order for me to, you know, see rail fanning, real fanning, you know.
My first apartment when I was in college backed up onto Chicago Northwestern Main Line in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. And that was a very, very busy main line. No Amtrak, but by golly. And it became kind of a thing to do at night is to go walk along the tracks, especially, you know, not back before everybody was so paranoid. And you could see 4, 5, 6 trains in short order. It was just fun.
Hello, Dennis. How you doing, buddy? Glad you can make it in tonight. Okay. Why did you choose your scale?
Pretty much I've always been in it. I know I've been tempted by the dark side before to try and go to HO. I find myself frustrated with how little I can get done in my space with N scale. I can't imagine with HO. It would be a much simpler setup.
I do have a question about your layout. Now, when I first started watching you, you were in a room adjacent to where you are now. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, and Debbie will probably yell at me for asking you this question.
Oh, well,
why didn't you just expand it from there?
Well, the original layout sat on a 5 by 8 foot table that I had set up, and I had it set up with the idea if the staging yard, such as it was in the part of that 5 by 8 that was up against the wall, and the entrance to that staging yard on one side was the terminal, the passenger terminal. And when I started looking around and seeing how I could make this bigger, the other side of the room was full of junk, and I thought, you know, it'd probably be easier to clear all that out. I was wrong. It was not easy, but I did clear all that stuff out, and it allowed me to go around the room much easier. I pretty much more than doubled my layout.
Yeah, it is quite a lot bigger. Yeah, I have a question that I just got on my text from Sparky.
Uh-oh.
And he wants to know. He wants you to talk about the meet and greet that you guys did, and would he do it again for Strasbourg? Would you do it again for Strasbourg?
Oh, in a moment. That was so fun. Deb will chime in here too. I mean, we just had a ball. Those people that you only knew through videos or occasional chats, all of a sudden there's faces to them and personalities and all a very bunch of really amazing people. Oh yeah. Roy Smith and his wife Wilmer and his family. I mean, we got to meet a lot of people. This whole pandemic has derailed so many great things, and I hope that we can get back to doing that, because that was just one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Well, you know, I'm just as soon as Sparky says that he's able to cross the border, I'm sure he's going to hook everything up, and as soon as that happens, I'm going to go ahead and make my arrangements. You know, my flight. And my hotel and all of that stuff. You know, so F&D Railroad, that's the guy I wanted to say hello to earlier. How you doing, buddy? Glad you can make it in tonight.
It'd be nice if we could do something in the fall, but it might be safer to schedule something in the spring for what it's worth. I mean, everything's so screwy right now. Who knows what's going on?
All right. So my next question is going to be, why did you choose the area you model?
I choose the area. It's freelance, so it's kind of here. It's just what I like the Midwest, and that's what I thought I would model. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a guy that used to be very active in model rotor in the 90s by the name of David Barrow, and he had his Cat Mountain and Santa Fe Railroad.
That sounds familiar.
Oh, it's really good. He kind of, I don't know what he's doing now, but he had this, he called it the domino system, where he would have 4 foot by 1.5 foot HO modules, for lack of a better, really sections. And he would have those all lined up and build this nice long, skinny long railroad. And I looked at that, and it was basically supposed to be West Texas, really flat. He did most of his work with the backdrop to give it some variety. I looked at that approach and said, T-Track could do this very easily for the Midwest. And
right.
So where I'm at, it's not exaggerating. It's as flat can be.
I know. I made that drive.
Oh yeah,
I drove from New York to here. So I know
yeah. I mean, it's a running joke when you're out in the country driving before the corn gets tall. You can navigate by seeing where all the grain elevators are. Well, that's got to be Towanda, so that's got to be Lexington. I mean, you can see forever.
I know.
There's just nothing. There's nothing.
And the funny thing is, the roads are perfectly straight.
Oh yeah. Someone drew a line.
So you'd be driving, and be like, you get hypnotized, just not doing anything with your steering wheel,
If I remember, there was a stretch of Interstate 80 through Nebraska. They actually put a few curves in because people were falling asleep and running off the darn road. They didn't need curves, but it just sounded like a good idea.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. Hello, Ron, New Haven Rails. Glad you can make it in, buddy.
Yeah, Deb says that's what an open window and rock and roll is for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coke and a Snickers is usually what I need. I can go 1,000 miles with that.
What is the current size of your layout?
It's in a room roughly 12-foot square going around the outside, and the staging yard is in the storage room on the other side of the wall. So I cheat a little bit past 12-foot square.
Hello, SP Mike, and Michael Broshiers wants you to talk about the humidity.
Oh yeah, that's one of the. You love the Midwest because it has basements. You hate the Midwest because it's humid as all get out. And so if you're not running a dehumidifier, you can have nothing but problems. It was a long time before I did, and it got so bad in the basement that I would have condensation on the pipes that would drip down and stain my drop ceiling. It just got down there. So yeah, it just, you can cut the air in the summer. It gets so bad.
So now that you're talking about that, I did my boot camp in Great Lakes.
Oh, no kidding. I know exactly.
And it was in July.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. No, thanks. I've been to you guys. I was down visiting my brother in Vegas when it was 120 some degrees, and it may be a dry heat, but it sure felt like a fry heat. I don't care how dry it is. It's still, when you cook an egg on the pavement.
And and I say the same thing. People say, "Oh, it's a dry heat." It's freaking hot. Last summer there was 65 days of 115 plus.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I don't care if it's dry or wet. Hot is hot.
Yeah. We will bloop over 100 once in a while. We'll get into the 90s. I don't know, a dozen times or better. But the humidity is routinely in the 80s and 90% during all that. You guys are lucky to get 15% humidity. I got a dog that's been in pain. Come here, you. All right. Yeah. Okay.
How often do you produce videos?
My goal is way more than I'm doing. I just did I think I just did my 49th video in 3 years, which comes down to 1.5 a month. Yeah. So you gonna help with Oscar? Yeah, he needs help. Go.
So for you guys that have not seen Kevin Brown's channel, that is the name of his channel, Kevin Brown. He's got an awesome layout, goes around the wall, and it's kind of semi-prototypical, not really 100% prototypical.
Proto-lands. How about that?
Yeah, there you go, proto-lands.
The goal was to build it somewhere in the Midwest. I'm trying to figure out exactly where. Because my dad worked at the GM&O, it's going to be one of the main railroads on there, and I've got what little equipment there is for GM&O and N-Scale, and I'm trying to figure out what other railroads. The idea is this. It's a switching layout or switching railroad, kind of like the I think Terminal Railroad of St. Louis, or maybe the PNPU in Peoria, where a bunch of railroads come in. There's another railroad that does all the handling, also the switching, and there's quite a few different passenger coming through. I love passenger trains, so I definitely want to run a bunch of those.
Thank you, John Schuylkill. I appreciate that. If you guys want to check out Kevin's channel, it's right there in front of you. The link is there. Go ahead and click on it. Thank you, Ralph Greenwood, aka John. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. Let's get back to my question. We're only halfway through, and we're almost, we only got a half hour left. Do you post your videos or anything on any other media like Facebook or Instagram? No. Okay. I'm trying to get out of that myself. I don't like it.
Yeah. Just a quick one. RDEA Scale asks, where do I live? I live in Bloomington, Illinois, which is kind of dead center of the state. I'm on the line that goes from Chicago to St. Louis, about half, in fact, almost exactly halfway between the two.
Let's see. Brian Page says he just subbed to you.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah. And Sparky says we have all night.
We got all night.
Yeah, but the problem is my stomach says we don't have all night. And the funny thing is, I've been eating lunch, and I don't know if you eat more, you get hungry faster. I don't know, but I had lunch. I had a sandwich for lunch, and whatever, some dessert, and now here it is, 5:37, and I'm hungry. But anyhow, what do you like about the hobby?
Probably the part I'm most interested in is operations. The idea of how the railroads worked and work, and trying to understand that and trying to kind of mimic it on the train. I just enjoy the heck out of that. I really do.
Are you close to Tony?
Half a mile.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You're like neighbors, practically.
Practically. And the funny thing is, we've both been in N scale. We've both been here practically our whole lives, and we didn't meet except through YouTube.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, this is weird. So it makes you wonder how many others. Now, I've had a chance to meet his father. He was helping us work on the Tony's layout, and he's been living here as longer than I am. He's about 5 years older than I am, I think. And he's I can't think of the name of his channel. It's the BN GMNO, something like that. And he's got a wonderful HO layout. I mean, he's just a great guy. So he's another one. He's been modeling his whole life in the same sort of stuff I'm interested. Never met him till YouTube. Grandpa
Rails, thank you so much. And he says I should have pork chops for dinner.
Pork chops, hard to go wrong, That sounds good. We had dinner, dear. So what?
All right. So now that we know what you like, what do you dislike?
I can't say I dislike it. I know my weakness is scenery. It's just something I haven't done much of. It's all a matter of technique and practice, and I just need to do more of that. In fact, my next big is going to be trying to scenic 4 modules that are all in a row just to get a complete scene. It includes the only river I've got on the layout. I've never poured a river, all that sort of stuff. So I really want to dig into scenery. I can't say I hate it, but it's just not something I think I'm good at, or I haven't really practiced much at.
Hello, Michael Lee from Australia. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
And Michael Brochure says, Kevin got me to do YouTube.
That's right. That's right. You've got an amazing layout. I mean, oh, my gosh.
Isn't he the one that does one town in Chicago?
Pretty much, it's pretty much Peoria, the city.
Peoria, yes, and he does only that city, right? He does only that city.
Pretty much, and all the trains that come in and out of it. It's kind of Proto-Lance too. I mean, he's got his own home layout.
If I was to do my layout again, that's what I would do. I would pick one spot and just do that one spot.
Well, that particular part, Peoria had staggering amounts of industry. Practically all of it's gone now. And the number of different railroads that came in there was impressive. And so you can literally do nothing but that area. And he hadn't even touched the passenger part. There were at least 2 different passenger train stations, if I'm right, Mike. You can throw that all in there too.
Hello, Joey Butzek. How's it going, buddy? Watched the video today. Very nice job on that bench you're working on. I know I'm going to ask this question, but I know the answer. I'm just going to ask it anyhow. Do you have a second layout?
Nope. This is enough to keep me busy.
Now, with what you have, do you go to train shows with your modules?
Absolutely.
Do you bring them all or just some of them?
We did that once. We decided we reserved a basement at the local library, the normal public library, and we thought, let's bring every module we've got. And it ended up being over 90. And
oh wow.
yeah, I had to stuff things in that. I don't have a very big car, and it was challenging to get all the stuff in there. Then I the number of modules since then. I don't think that's going to happen. I had I've been model railroading for 30 years. And I had a layout at the time when I was trying to build modules, and I found that they kind of competed with each other. So instead, I just decided this time to build the modules first and have the layout be the modules. And it really solves a lot of problems, I think.
Well, I remember when I was in the when I was living in California, I belonged to an N-scale modular club, and that was pretty fun, actually.
Yeah,
just to go out and do the shows and everything, to meet all these different people. My modules were part of my layout.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just, unhook the track, unhook the wiring. I had plugs on there, and I just pull them out, throw them in my car, and go wherever the show was and go.
That's the way to do it. But interesting. My group, the vast majority of people don't even have home layouts. They just bring their modules, a box of trains, and for a while there, we were having a show averaging once a month, and so we were running trains like crazy. Now, since this craziness has happened, it's been way too long since we've run anything.
Yeah, really. I know you answered this question again, but I'm going to ask it so people hear your answer to it. Do you prefer prototype or freelance?
Freelance. Just a quickie. Humanity Junction. My club had 90 modules. I have right.
Oh, he thought you did? I missed that.
Oh, I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy. There's Redbird Tony. Hey, Redbird Tony.
Is he here?
Yeah, he just popped in.
Oh,
they asked how far away you lived. I said it was like a half a mile.
That's pretty funny. Is your layout AC? Is your layout DC or DCC?
I can do either. I can isolate either main line to a DC or DCC, but I run mostly DCC.
Okay. What brand DCC equipment do you have?
Digitrax.
Digitrax.
And largely because that's what my club use. And I know the local hobby shop owner, Tom down in McLean, he loves NCE, and he's pretty much a zealot for NCE, and he tried his best to talk me into it. And I really do. I think that their interface is a lot better than Digitrax, but I didn't want to have something else that would be different and cause me more problems when I bring my toys to a show. So just stuck with Digitrax, and now that I've gotten used to it, I have no problems with it at all. Well, I shouldn't say that. Every once in a while, it decides to hiccup, and I got to get the books out. But
my brother Sparky just does not like Digitrax.
Their big advantage is the LocoNet.
The LocoNet, yeah.
The ability to have easy plugins.
And they also have the transponders. If you want to hook up the transponders, they got that. There's a lot of features that Digitrax has that other companies do not have.
And I see that they're trying to modernize their stuff and make it more user-friendly. And I'm all for that. But for the moment, I'm just going to stick with what I've got. I really have a ball with it.
What is Michael Brochure's channel? Do you know? Or Michael, if you're still in here, can you put up your channel name, please? Somebody's asking for it. Ooh. Hello, Mystic. How's it going, buddy? Good, you can make it.
Great Lakes and Southern. Yeah, that's right.
What is it? Great Lakes and
Southern. Yep.
All right. I'm going to ask this question because I kind of already know what the answer is going to be. What era do you model?
I like the 1960s.
The 1960s. I was 10 years old in the 60s.
I was born in 61, so it's kind of a little early.
So I'm 10 years older than you, huh?
I like because it kind of bridges between first generation diesels and second generation diesels. They still have roof walks on the cars. Yeah. There's still Amtrak didn't come in until about 72, so there's still individual roads with individual passenger trains, though they were on the decline like crazy by then. Right. So that's kind of where I'm sticking with. The most recent locomotive I think I have is a Jeep 38, and it came out in 65, 66. So I'm trying not to go much past that if I can. My inspiration, there used to be, oh God, how many railroads? 5 railroads that went through Bloomington, and I'm kind of at that era, and I'm trying to more or less have my freight car collection reflect those railroads pretty heavy. A lot of them were, by the time I was aware of what was going on, they were long gone. The nickel plate, the New York.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know, but
Brian Page says he is the fellow 1961er.
oh yeah. See,
Hello, Cameron. How's it going, buddy?
Most model railroaders try and model what they remember as a kid. That's kind of a trend. A generation, I don't know, half a generation ago, it used to be a lot of people modeling the transition. I never saw a steam engine except at a railroad museum.
Steamtown.
Working.
No.
But I do remember a big deadline of them, a bunch of them being ready for scrap. That's about it.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah.
All right. We got, do you prefer kit bills or scratch bills?
I kind of like, what do they call it? Kit bashing. I think that's kind of fun. I'm not above building it as it's supposed to be. Kind of boring, but I do that too. But I kind of fearless anymore, particularly after you showed using the those square plastic truck pieces as bracing and using the Model Masters glue. There's nothing you can't put together. There really is.
Oh, like I said to you earlier, when we were doing our chat before the show, anybody can put 4 walls together.
Yeah.
It's just the perception of, does it look right when you get done with it? You know, that's the whole thing. That's what I try and stress. I mean, you don't really have to have actual measurements. If you can see the building, you can guesstimate how big it is. Mm-hmm. You know, you can, like you did earlier, you said you paced it out. You paced one building out because you know your shoe size is exactly 1 foot. So you paced it out. That's another way of doing it. If you see a 50-foot boxcar parked alongside of a warehouse, and you know that they can get another 50-foot boxcar in there, you know that building's 100 feet long.
That's it. You're in the ballpark.
You know,
and I also like your when we did the class together. It's been a couple years ago. And your idea of doing multiple, what's the right word? Multiple versions of the building, where you just use cardboard at first to try and get the feel before you start cutting plastic. And, you know, by the time you get to the 3rd iteration, you've got a pretty good, everything should go together.
And you know, it's working out really good with the guys that I have on my Tuesday night live stream, especially Sean McGee. He has taken it up a couple steps already. And I'm very proud about that, you know, that he's actually thinking about on his own. He's thinking outside the box. What else can he do? He went ahead and built the building without me telling him, and he did it, and he attached it to the building that I showed him, and it looked really good, you know, cool. for the first time, you know. Yeah. And I start off with the card stock because the card stock costs $1.50 or whatever it is, right? Yeah, so if you make a mistake, you can put it in your fireplace and burn it or whatever, you know, and start over.
Yep.
Whereas if you buy plastic and you mess up, that's $5 you're going to throw away, you know? So that's why I always start with the paper and then work up to the for sale signs. And then I work up to the real plastic.
Yeah. I bought one of those for sale signs. I'll be nibbling off that piece of plastic for years.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We did that. How do you clean your layout track wise? What do you use for your track?
So far I've been using, what is it, 90+% isopropyl alcohol. I've got an old Centerline cleaning car that I've been using for years. I've also got, what's the big brass thing that looks like a
CMX car?
I have one of those, and I never think to get the darn thing out. Everybody says those things work very, very well. And like I said, after going over to Tony's and working on his layout, he had that CRC stuff. And I took a quick picture of it, and Walmart carried it. So I picked up some of that, and I'm hoping that I can use that specifically for various contacts, like the double crossovers. Sometimes those contacts get all cruddy, and
right.
all cleaned up would help out a lot.
I didn't know this, but there's probably more than 2, but I just learned about a second one that I saw somebody had laying on their layout. The can I have is a blue can. The one I saw in this person's layout was a red can. It might have been you.
The red can. Yeah.
Now, the one that I got, the blue one, is supposed to be an electrical contact enhancer. Yeah, so Humanity Junction says, I like the CRC 2-26. That's what I have.
Okay.
That's supposed to be a electrical contact enhancer.
Oh, okay.
And the way I was told to do it is you put a couple of spots, it's got a spray nozzle. You you spray it on a couple of spots around the leg. You don't have to do the whole track. And as the train goes across it, it kind of
drags it around,
drags it along. I have used it to clean the track, though. I have used it to clean the track, and it does a really good job of cleaning the track. So
I'll have to try it.
other than that, I would use the CMX car with alcohol, with the isopropylene.
Yeah, that works out pretty well. Now I also have some of those cars that drag the piece of masonite, and I've had pretty good luck with those too.
Yes.
In fact, I try and put one in each one of my freight trains. So every time I run my freight trains around, it cleans the track a bit.
Do you have a current project that you're working on?
I'm just finishing up the interlocker tower. It's the Atlas kit. It's a nice little kit. I just got the last piece glued on. Man, those are some tiny pieces. I've got to touch the paint up and all that. But I hope to have that done this weekend. And after that, I'm going to start working on the scratch build of the observatory we were talking about.
So my next question is, how does your railroad have a name? And if it does, how did you come up with the name?
Brownsville Terminal Railroad, and it wasn't that tough. All the towns are named for my kids and just Brown. I've been trying.
Mystic uses a pressure washer.
That's a thought. There's times,
Well, see that? Oh, you can't see it. I don't know why it does that. This is white. I don't know why. Oh, my camera just went to sleep.
No.
Sorry about that. Come on. There you go.
There you go. Okay.
Your camera went to sleep. Anyhow, what I was showing you is that was 20 questions. It's going. Oh, you know what? I gotta plug this thing in. I don't know why it's doing that. I just put a new battery in there tonight too.
That's right. I have taken over. Sparky says it's the Kevin Brown show now. Deb says, "Oh no."
All right, guys. Well, I finished my questions with Kevin. If anybody's got any questions that they want to ask, please post it up on the link on the chat, and we'll see if we can get to it. I don't see nothing.
Yeah.
Sensory
belt sander. Yeah. I get crud on it. Not quite
like belt sander. I'm surprised Heath hasn't coming up with a smart answer on that one. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. Very cool. Vinny has moved to the dark side. Vinny has moved to the dark side. No, I haven't. I've been in Ed Scale forever. To me, the dark side is go.
I think he was referring to when your video blacked out.
Oh, okay.
Dark side.
That's weird because I checked the battery before I went live, and I did change it because I had a fresh one that was already charged, and I was surprised it went dead that fast. Wow. All right. Anyhow.
Probably about the biggest thing that's happened to my channel for quite a while is wow, now I am in charge. The overall group of both N-Track and T-Track called N-Rail posted a link to one of my videos as a good introduction to how to wire stuff. And I had almost 8,000 views on that video.
Wow.
That's way more than I ever get. And what it is also resulted in a nice steady stream of new subscribers. So it's been, my channel has climbed up to a little over 550, which is, by most people's standards, isn't much, but I'm proud as all get out about that. I'm very happy with that.
Sean McGee has a question for you. Kevin, what is your favorite part of the
local manufacturer?
Local manufacturer.
I mean, there's nobody's in the same league as them. Atlas is a little behind them, and I've never had like a Broadway limited. I pretty much, if it's Kato, I snap that sucker up.
So Humanity Junction has another question. What do you think of the change in name from T-Track to N-Rail?
My understanding, and I haven't looked at it really in depth. It looks like they used to call it. Oh, it wants me to restart. No. Go away. I think it's just a matter of it trying to combine dealing with both N-Track and T-Track, and they came up with a new name, N-Rail. That's as near as I can tell. the guy, I guess it's the couple that started all this, they have both since passed away, and I think it's kind of almost an open license now. People are trying to keep it easier, trying to keep it together and have strict standards. So I think that's what NRail's all about. That's just kind of my
Well,
feeling.
just like in track, everything was perfectly. There was standards you had to follow. If you didn't follow those, you couldn't hook up a module. Mystic Southern Railway has a question for you. What is your favorite early diesel?
Ooh, it's got to be the PA1. That was Concord came out with that. Good Lord, in the 80s, and they came out with GM&O, and they came out with a whole passenger set. And I wanted that passenger set so bad, but I was a poor college student. I had the PA1, and it was probably a year and a half ago. I found the darn thing on eBay, and like an idiot bought the darn thing. So I finally have the whole set, but it took me 30 years to get it,
Humanity Junction got another question for you. Do you ever consider free mo N, or are you T-track all the way?
Free mo is a fascinating concept. We're going to have a private show coming up here in May. We're invited to attend. They're going to have an entire gymnasium with Fremo HO. And the Fremo system is kind of a reaction to T-track and N-track. It's not designed to just run in circles, but the amount of space you need to set anything up is staggering. It's not going to be that big a layout, and it's going to take up a whole gymnasium.
Wow.
So
I've seen some of those Fremo ones, but I don't know if they were N scale or if they were HO or whatever, but they are huge.
I think that's kind of the deal now. There's a lot of clubs that just get together, they pitch in money and rent a hall and set the toys up for a weekend and then tear everything down. But you need a lot of space for it. N-track and T-track are just a lot easier, and T-track easiest of all.
Joey Busek has a question. What are your thoughts on switching layouts?
I like switching. Don't like to do only switching. I guess I want to do the whole thing, which would be running trains and interacting with trains and switching and all of that. I've had switching layouts. I had one in college, in fact, and I found I got kind of bored with it. It became repetitious to me. Part of model railroading, in my experience, is trying to find out, what do you like? What do you enjoy? And there's no answer that fits in there. Did you wear glasses before you started modeling N scale? Yes. I got glasses in 5th grade, and
yeah, I've been wearing glasses
when I started N scale. Wait a minute,
That's funny.
Oh.
Well, you see, Keith's got 4 different scales he can work on. When his eyes get tired on the N scale, he moves up to the HO. When he gets tired of that, he moves up to the G scale.
I tell you what, I may laugh about that, but I spent a fair chunk of this morning trying to get the itty tiniest little lamp glued into place over the doorway on an N scale building, and that okay, I could see it. And of course, my tweezers were downstairs, so I didn't have those. So many nasty words were muttered, but I got the.
Okay, Joey, take care. Thanks for showing up tonight. I appreciate it.
Cool.
All right. So, any other questions?
He says he's moved his. He says he's moved to Z scale.
Oh, that's I forgot the Z scale. Z scale, N scale, HO, and then G. I'm sorry, Heath. I forgot about that. I forgot about the Z scale.
Wow, what do they call that? A rubber gauger? Can't say.
What is your modeling inspirations? What are your model inspirations?
There's several layouts that I just love the heck out of. One, I don't know if you guys have ever. There's a guy by the name of Andy Henley, and his Tech Choice is his channel, and his layout is the Montrose and Highland. He's a United Kingdom, and he models U.S. prototype.
Yes.
And there's something about the way he models and puts stuff together that just seems like, hey, I think I can do that. And he also gets a lot of use out of what he's got. He really, he's been posting videos for many, many years.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, I really like his attitude and stuff. So that's one of those layouts that I find very inspirational. We talked about the Cat Mountain in Santa Fe. That would, just the idea of a layout being long and skinny rather than short and wide. So those would be my inspirations, if that makes sense.
Thank you, John, for that information. It looks like the Pixel Depot has gone over up to 108 subscribers tonight.
That's very cool.
Thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate that, and I'm sure he's going to appreciate that also. Let's see. I don't see any more questions. What is your channel handle? Oh, there you go. What is your channel handle? The channel name for yours?
Just Kevin Brown, and I regret it tremendously. I wish I had come up with something. When I first started getting into YouTube, I just wanted to watch videos, and so I just typed in my name. And I can't tell you how many Kevins, how many Kevin Browns out there.
Yes.
It's just incredible. Now, the funny part is I go by my middle name. My first name's John. I go by Kevin because it's less common. Apparently, it's not a lot less common. So I should have thought that through.
Well, knowing you two, yeah, it's true what Pappy's saying. Well, knowing you two, he'll probably lose 6 of those tonight.
Yeah, it's something too.
And that is true. I mean, I've been trying to do this giveaway contest, my 4,000 subscriber contest, and it's been going up, and then it goes below 4,000 and back up over 4,000. It's back. It's been up and down 3 times already.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for it to level off before I actually do the contest, because I don't want people in just to be on my channel just for the contest. I want to do the contest for loyal people that are my subscribers that are here every week. Blah blah blah. So that's what I want to do. So that's why I'm waiting. I already have the gifts here from the different sponsors, and I'm going to jack up the amount from Yankee Dabbler also. Right now, Yankee Dabbler, we're at $100 gift certificate. I'm going to see if we can get it up to a little bit more, like $150 gift certificate, and we'll see how that goes.
Got a question maybe from James Young. Why are there no trains running behind you, John? Actually, I go by Kevin, but my internet is, and my router is upstairs. I'm in the middle level, and I found that if I try to do anything in the basement, I don't get spot. So I just came over here.
Do you know this FB Railroad, Kevin?
Do I know what?
Do you know FB Railroad?
Not ringing a bell.
Kevin, Kevin, you changed your name.
Yeah, and I can't. I thought about it, but I'm sure I've seen people that have done that. You generally lose a few subscribers in the mix, and for the moment, I'll just keep it and bitch. That just seems easiest,
Sparky.
What did he say? Oh, is he trying to guess? Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Maybe it's best that Canada's border is closed.
Maybe the contest start now. We guess the number 1 to 61. No, Sparky. What I say it's going to start is when it's going to start.
Wow. Yeah.
That is too funny. I love you, brother. 56. Everybody's guessing numbers.
Oh, yeah. And then things spiraled out of control,
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
So I wish Debbie would have stepped in for a little while so we could say hello to her and everyone else can meet your wife.
She's over there working on a diamond art painting and giggling and making snide comments on what I'm saying. There's the better half.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Debbie. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you, Vinny?
I'm doing just great. I can't wait to meet you guys.
Oh, yeah.
We are so hoping that we can get out there and visit.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I would love to have Sparky's get together happen again. That was such an amazing experience, and you had to miss out on that one. That was really good.
Yeah, I definitely missed out on that one.
Yeah.
And I think the reason was because I didn't have the funds to get there.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
I think that was the problem. But when he announced that he was going to do the Strasbourg, I had just did a refi on my house, and I had some money left over from the refi, so I just stashed that in the bank, you know. And I said, okay, as soon as we're ready to go, I got the money for it. Boom, boom, boom. But now it's been like 2 years, and the money's kind of dwindling.
I live close enough. It was a long drive. It was a 2-day drive out there and back, but it's great country. I mean, we stopped at a few spots on the way there and back, so that was a lot easier. In fact, we're debating driving out to Vegas, as crazy as that sounds.
Well, you're in Chicago to Vegas. That's 1,000, 1,200 miles.
I think it's 3 hard days, pretty much. You know, so I think
the Otter Creek in Rio Grande. Question: if you could no longer model the area you're modeling because this thing
because they're going to witness protection, what area would you model? Oh God!
You guys are too funny.
Oh yeah, that was always my dad's thing when someone would take pictures. Oh man, all that money spent on witness protection. Oh my God, you should. If I had to do it, I know I've always been kind of fascinated. Everybody wants to do the mountain region, and there's a little layout that I really liked that was the Donner Pass on the Southern Pacific, and the more the terrain there, and I think that'd be kind of interesting if I had to go into witness protection. Now I've said it, I can't use that though. Son of a gun. Hey, it's Roy Smith. Hey, Roy.
Yeah, how you doing, Roy? Glad you can make it in. I don't know FB Railroad. I have to go check his channel out.
Railroad, I don't know. Well, this community is so large, I can't keep track of anybody.
Yeah, you know, it's like who are you? Really?
I never would have thought. You know, when I started putting a toe into the water into this YouTube thing, I had no idea that it was this big of a deal.
Yep.
There are thousands of people doing stuff, and it's pretty amazing.
Hello, are you a train man too? How's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it in tonight. Humanity Junction is FB Railroad stand for food, for food and beverage. Oh man, what's going on with my camera tonight? I have it plugged in too. It's crazy. That's weird. It's giving me an exclamation point. I don't know what that means.
I'm guessing it's not good.
Summer Railway in scale. How's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it in. We're about ready to wind this up.
Yeah.
California to West Virginia is 3.5 days. That's across the country.
Yeah.
I want to do a cross-country drive. That's what I want to do. I'm looking for somebody that wants to do it with me. So we just get in the car and just go visit everybody along the way.
After about 8 hours, I lose all feeling in my butt. It's all done. It came close to going to blows. We took a vacation some years back, and the easiest way to do it, we were going west to Yellowstone. We started here and went all the way to Rapid City, South Dakota in one drive, like 13.5 hours. That's a test of any relationship, let me tell you.
Yes, it is.
Oh man, but we got it. We did there. Anytime you go west from here, it's a long drive. That's just the way it is.
Well, guys, if you got any more questions for Kevin, we're going to call this good for tonight. I appreciate you being here, giving me your time, Kevin and Debbie.
This is fun. Yeah, and the boss. Say hi.
And the boss.
I'm no fool. I know who calls the shots. You know.
Question. I'll fire up the Harley.
Oh,
there you go.
Man. Oh man. Nope.
Let's see. You know me and David. Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. Now I know who that is. All right. Anyhow, if you guys are all done with giving Kevin a hard time tonight, we're going to call this good. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate all the super chats you guys did for me. And we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great week. And don't forget, tomorrow, my premiere video at noon Eastern, it will be on a scratch build. So if you guys are interested in scratch builds, come on in. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.